In this episode of Dolce Vita, have a taste of Japan at a Michelin-starred sushi restaurant.
Appreciate art creations that express the essence of Chinese culture in a new way.
Give your wardrobe a makeover with our styling tips.
Sit down and chat with Jessica Jan.
In the not-too-distant future, automated living is going to be everywhere. Imagine living in your smart home where you can cook and bake perfectly using the help of artificial intelligence. And of course, controlling most of your appliances remotely will be a given.
Yeah, the way of living is surely appealing, but sometimes I feel that as we're surrounded by more and more automation, digitalization and AI, our interest in everything handmade is getting stronger at the same time.
Traditional craftsmanship is the core of Japanese cooking.
From the sourcing of ingredients to the impeccable cutting skills, Japanese food goes beyond just some ordinary dishes.
We're first to touch our tongue. Kelly, how is the meal for you?
Of course, oishi. To create top-tier Edomae-style sushi, the quality of seafood and the traditional ways of sushi making are of course crucial, but what goes behind the making of the wasabi is just as important.
The only wasabi that Chef Araki uses is the Masuma type from Shizuoka. And he says he will usually grate and use up the whole piece of wasabi for a single omakase meal.
Cultures and individuals have different interpretations of what constitutes an art form, yet all artists share the common desire to pursue and express the beauty in this world. I believe that artists are the most passionate group of people in embracing new ideas and techniques. They will do whatever they can to create an excellent work of art. That is why they never stop learning and drawing inspiration from one another. As you may already know, oil painting originated during the Renaissance period in Europe. And through the increasing number of Westerners setting foot in ancient China, it didn't take long for oil painting to be introduced into China. During the Republican era in China, many young Chinese artists even traveled abroad to study Western oil painting in Britain, France, and Japan. This medium of Western art has become popular among Chinese painters since then.
Oil painting is a Western art media, but when Chinese painters learn and practice oil painting, they're obviously influenced by different styles of European Western painting, like Impressionism, abstract art, realism. All these kind of styles have had a huge impact on these Chinese artists at different periods. Yet at the same time, they are also influenced by the long history of Chinese art. So when they're trying to find inspiration and breakthroughs, they would go back to their cultural roots to apply the theories and techniques of traditional ink painting on their oil artworks. So this way, incorporate both art form and led to the fusion of these art media. So our exhibition presents to you how these Chinese artists demonstrate Chinese art and their traditions in their oil artworks. So back in the late Qing dynasty, the trading ports such as Shanghai, Guangzhou, they have become the starting point for cultural exchange between the East and the West. The introduction of Western oil painting and Japanese art has gradually influenced the development of Chinese art. Then in the early 20th century, some Chinese artists began to study abroad, mainly to Paris to learn oil painting and sketch drawings. The first generation of artists include Xu Beihong, Pan Yulin, and Lin Fengmin. These artists, when they returned to China, they became the first group of oil painting professors and nurtured a lot of other students. They also advocate the localization of oil painting and led to the modernization of Chinese art. Later, under their influence and guidance, the students first study oil painting in China, then further study in Paris or other countries.
What I admire the most about these paintings is that even the artists use Western oil as the medium, they can still express the essence and aesthetic of Chinese traditions. By breaking all the norms, they really have set a new tone for Chinese art.
It's actually a great opportunity for visitors to appreciate both masterpiece and also contemporary Hong Kong artworks. On the other hand, usually oil painting exhibitions will focus more on the development and influence of Western art. But our exhibition used the perspective of Chinese painters and traditional culture to explore how these works demonstrate the aesthetics of Chinese art and also its culture. Visitors will see the development of Chinese oil painting and how this work demonstrates the merge of both Chinese and Western art. First, I think the most representative one would be Zhao Aki's work. So this artist moved to Paris in 1947 and was influenced by Swiss artist Paul Klee. His use of symbols led to his realization that he could actually find inspiration from ancient Chinese culture. So like oracle bones, tombstones carving, and even bronze wares from Shang Dynasty or even Zhou Dynasty could be used in his oil works. So he incorporated these visual cultural symbols into abstract art. His use of deliberate white blanks and also dyeing effects has actually blurred the original brushstrokes of oil paint and create a dreamy and even semi-translucent visual effect.
Whether you are an artist or just someone who enjoys arts in general, everyone has their distinct reasons to love art. I love art because it has no boundaries and it lets your mind run free. If the artists limit their thoughts and mind, what we saw today would not exist at all. So art is just fascinating.
After the break, keep up with the spring-summer fashion trends.
And catch up with model, actress, and influencer Jessica Jan.
Ooh, Bonnie, look at this dress. It's so pretty. Wow, it really is beautiful. But you know what, Lena? Most of the time, unless I'm going to an event or a gala, I don't dress up. You would usually see me sporting my athleisure fashion.
You're not the only one. Athleisure is one of my favorite go-to outfits too. It's stretchy, it's comfy, what's there not to love?
Exactly. But you know what? I think if a woman dresses up every now and then, she does feel differently physically and mentally. What do you think?
Spring and summer are our favorite time to stroll down the street in style. Be ready to roll out some bold colors and patterns from your wardrobe and have fun mixing and matching.
For a casually chic look, why not go after vibrant colors? This outfit comes with fun splashes of colorful paints and offers not just a delightful mood and feel, but also a playful style that makes sure you stand out from the crowd.
For some people, their definition of dressing down is to simply throw on their favorite pair of high-waisted jeans.
Pair your jeans with a cherry red chiffon top that comes with lovely ruffle details here and there, and you're good to go.
When it comes to fashion, the most important thing is to find a style that suits you. So my go-to would be t-shirt and jeans. And if I wanted to spice things up, then I would add a couple of statement pieces.
Make good use of patterns to create that perfect first impression you need for any work or formal occasion.
Compared to plain and dark colors, a light colored dress allows your office style to be less boring, and it makes you look fabulous and stylish. And as for me, playfulness is the foundation of my style. So even when it comes to my 9-to-5 work wardrobe, I would still prefer something that is less conventional for a head-turning professional look.
For me, dressing up for an occasion is one of those little joys in life where you get to be creative. Despite the fact that athleisure is most of my go-to outfits, my actual favorite style is something that's cute, chic, and playful. And after years of exploring the fashion world, one of my favorite fashion muses has got to be Rihanna. It's not so much what she wears, although everything she wears is on point, it's just that she wears everything with so much confidence, and that's what I strive to be.
Going out for a dinner date with that special someone and want to dress to impress?
Well, we'd suggest dressing comfortably but stylish, like this wraparound dress in pastel blue here. It is soft and body-hugging, making you look and feel great at the same time.
The little black dress is what women turn to for a fun night out.
But if you're getting bored with the ordinary little black dress, why not give this floaty little black dress a try? It will surely keep you cool, but you'll also sizzle at the same time.
After all, fashion is all about having fun and expressing yourself in your own unique way. Have fun with your wardrobe makeover.
Unlike the previous generation where people are more inclined to stay at the same job for their entire life, nowadays we see more and more people juggling multiple identities all at once, and we call them slashers. For example, personal trainer / artist / computer technician. Instead of just a millennial bandwagon, a slash career is something that allows you to put both your career and passion front and center. Speaking of slasher, there is someone I would like you to meet, Jessica Jan. You might know Jessica from the big screen, but what makes her truly stand out might be her diverse interests and side hustles. So Jessica, a lot of people know you first and foremost as an actress. When and why did you decide to get into acting?
When I was 8 years old, my mom and dad saw this open casting call for this one movie, and they took me there. When I got there, there was like over 1,000 kids, and I got so lucky, but they ended up choosing me. So then from that day on, I got to skip 3 weeks of school, got paid to do that, got to do craft service. It was amazing. But I didn't immediately start then, so I waited until maybe senior year of high school. But during high school, I did a lot of, drama, theater. I was a big drama geek. I did a lot of auditions. I booked some TV shows for, various channels, some movies. And then, yeah, I just kind of fell into it.
So it sounds like your passion for acting started at a very young age.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
But aside from acting, what other side hustles or projects do you have going on?
So I do a couple of different other things. So aside from, acting and modeling, I also have a beauty center business. I feel like it's quite empowering and it makes people, feel good when they come in. I also have a social media marketing and influencer agency company, and that completely started by accident as well. We're able to do, a lot of different campaigns, worked with some great clients, and it's always fun because I did theater and business in university. So for me, I think my backbone is always I like to be busy, and I like I like business, and I like learning.
Wow, so it sounds like you have your hands full. So what are some what's the hard lesson you learned through having all of your side hustles?
I hear the word no a lot. So I think for me, I have to try my best to really stay positive, and I really have to not listen to that negative noise or even other people's remarks. I do embrace failure because I like to try, and if it doesn't work great, I'll find a different way. So I think those are huge lessons I always learn.
That's amazing. And now, on top of all of that, I heard that you're also a foodie and a food blogger. Can you tell me about that?
When I first moved to Hong Kong, I loved going to try all the amazing food that Hong Kong has to offer. So I just started, taking pictures of, yummy dishes, and then I just started blogging. I don't know why. I think it was just, one day I was, at home and I started blogging. But yeah, let me take you to my favorite restaurant. It's also where I met my husband.
Sounds good. So Jessica, you have a lot of roles that you play in your everyday life. Do you have any tips on how to juggle them? Like, what's your life and work balance like?
For me, I think it's very hard because I'm the type of person, if I'm working, I'm 1000% in it. So that's like my only focus. So even if, you know, it's 1 a.m. at night, I'll still be on my computer. I'm like, no, I'm not done with this proposal, or I'm not done with, you know, learning my lines. But, you know, kind of always reminds me, you really need to, you know, make sure you are taking care of yourself, because if I'm healthy and if I'm happy and if I'm recharged, then I'll also do better in work. I like to de-stress by, you know, making sure I reward myself. So I like doing my nails, you know, I like going in for facials, taking care of myself, even masking at home. I think that's, you know, great me time.
But you know, I bet that whenever you do any of those activities, you are always on point with your style. Let's talk about your style.
Oh, thank you.
Can you describe what that's actually like?
Sure. So for my style, it's I like to be comfortable. So everything that I wear, I think comfort is key. Even for like if I go out on a date with Kenneth, I do like to dress up sometimes. So I like to wear, you know, flowy, simple dresses. Colorful ones, the better. Like if they're colorful, great. I love color.
Right.
So I'm, you know, pink, blue, red, those are all my favorite colors. And for events, I also tend to pick more colorful outfits. I like wearing dresses and, you know, putting on a little bit of makeup. It definitely makes it a little bit of difference.
So obviously I get the sense that comfort is key for you, but say how would you dress up for a more formal occasion, for example, like a ball?
So for the ball, if they obviously have a theme, I love to dress in theme. So if it's like, you know, we're going, you know, 1920s glam or whatever, I'm like, great, I love dressing up like that.
I can sense that you're just a very warm person.
Oh, thank you.
What would you say is like the most important thing to you in your life?
So the most important definitely to me is my family. I love my family. My grandparents raised me when I was very little, like 1 month old. So I talk to my grandma every single day. I love my parents. My mom is, you know, my best friend. We obviously will fight sometimes, but I love her. She's amazing and always so supportive. They're just the best. Obviously, I love my husband. No, so I'm very lucky. I'm very blessed. I have a great older sister. I have amazing cousins. So I'm just very lucky. Like the people in my life are just, you know, yeah, I'm just blessed.
Some say gratitude is the best medicine for healing your mind and nourishing the soul. So always be thankful for what you have today. After all, life itself is already a blessing.
That's all the time we have for this week's episode. If you want to find out more about what we have introduced, remember to log onto our website.
And don't forget to hang out with us in coming weeks. Besides taking your cooking skills to the next level, we'll also take you to a sculpture exhibition that guarantees a unique experience. For those who like to learn about beauty hacks, follow us to create your very own lip color from scratch. Also, indulge in some creative, delicious, and healthy dessert pastries. Join us again next time.